Okay, Saku. Let's take a look at your match today. What are my initial thoughts? I did commentate it, which was nice. I got to cheer you on live. What were my thoughts? I think you played pretty well, but perhaps a bit too passive, a bit too defensive. I think you were guaranteed a second in the first game, but I think perhaps you could have got a third in the other game. We'll see. But this one was definitely a good second because this guy just luck shit. Alright, so we'll just go through here. At some point I will have to get up and put on a shirt. I just got out of the shower and you have to let your body dry off a bit. You have to let it dry off a bit, right? Also, I've got a bit of a rash, which is caused by like a heat rash, and so it's good not to keep that moist or anything. Anyway, we get a read sheet. You immediately fold with 5 so. This is a hand that is probably not worth pushing this late. So I agree. This is totally fine. Let me cut the 2. Do we want to completely break up our hand this early? I think you... It is possible to both push 1 and 7. The reason being Sotogawa here. Now you shouldn't... I know there was a big meltdown over Sotogawa in the previous thread, but Sotogawa is actually legitimate. It's just funny that that happened. You could also probably push 1 because of this. And there's 3 2s out, so it's 1 chance. I'm just saying you could push them, not saying that you should push them. I respect the fold right here. Fine. Get the 1, that's good. And we get Sumo. Cool, I think that went very well. Next turn you could even push this. Tsuji, and then you could do the 1 push. You could even get into Tenpai if you were lucky there. But he Tsumos, so that's fine. That round was played well. You have this Itsu looking shape, and I'm very proud of you, Saku, that you do not fall for the Itsu meme. Based. Now, is it actually correct to discard this? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 blocks with a floating 9 and a floating 5. Arguably, it probably is better to keep the 9 for the Itsu value. However, I'm very happy you discarded this because Itsu is actually a meme. Actually, you even have Sanshoku here. Right? So definitely correct to discard this 9 here. Well done. Fuck Itsu. Even when you think Itsu is a possibility, don't go for it. I hear you discard the 5, you give up on the Sanshoku chance to strengthen this block. I think that's a perfectly fine choice. I might have greeded, but both are fine. Unfortunately, it does mean you feed this cat here, but you couldn't have known. I mean, that could have been part of your consideration. What if I feed the cat? But you really couldn't have known. Okay, we get a good Ricci on the terminals. However, they are stuck in another player's hand, which is unfortunate. So we'll just skip to this, and he actually deals in with the terminals because it was full Kabe. There were 4 2s out, I believe. Right. So full Kabe, there were 4 2s out. The only way this deals in is if you have 1-1 or you're waiting on a 1-time key. Right? So Shampons are quite good against people who know defense theory. that's kind of funny, right? Shampons are good against people who know defense theory. I mean, this was totally fine. Like, what were the odds? Okay, but that's a good run. Not worth much, but we take the wins when we can. We also kick him off the dealer seat. That's good. We always want to kick first place off of the dealer seat if we can. Here we get a nice upgrade. We're going to cut the 1 pair for Tanyao. I think that is fine as well. I think, okay, yeah, we can actually keep this as a 1-2-3 block with the 2-2-2 in the middle. Oh, sorry, 2-2 pair. So a 1-2-3 block with the 2-2 pair. That is a possible interpretation of this. So I think keeping the 1 is still good. Otherwise, I would keep the safe tile. Now we cut the 1. Okay, very good. Now we cut the 1 because we have our blocks. Quick Tenpai there. We keep the Ryankan and the pair here. That is fine. Should we have called this? No, because it doesn't get us into Tenpai. I do remember there was one hand that you should have called into Tenpai, but you didn't. But I think that might have been in the second game. Yeah, you cut the Ryankan. It is getting kinda late. We have 2 calls as Tenpai, right? We decide to cut the Forso and keep the 7. The 7 does look more dangerous into here. And there's 1 7 out, no 5s out. This is fine. I think maybe I would cut the 8 if I was scared of the 7. I might still just push 7. Right, but probably that's wrong. Probably you actually push the, not push, but you kind of play safe with the 8 here. Probably. I'm not sure, but 4 is also fine. Any of those 3 tiles I would be perfectly happy with. I know a bot might be more strict, but we're not too worried about that at this level. Here we discard 3. It is the safer tile of these blocks, so this is kind of very awkward couple of blocks to work around. And especially around this time, I think it's very good you're playing safer here because, you know, there's a very real possibility of Tenpai here, and because it's a Saint, very real possibility of a Dama there. Do we pawn this into Tenpai? I think probably we should, even though 7 is looking quite dangerous here. I think probably we should, but it's okay to skip here as well. What would I do? I think I would pawn, because 7 is one chance on the 5-6. I would take that one chance. You don't pawn. I think, yeah. I think you should pawn into Tempai here. Oh well. And then you cut 8 so, okay. Then you cut 6 so, which is... It's okay. It's not the best, right? I might have even dealt in here with the 5 if I was full folding. Actually, if I was full folding, I would go for 4. Any Damatsumos? Let's go back here. If you had pawned, discard a 7. You would draw 4, you would draw 5, chun, 4, 9, 9, 8, 9, white. Okay, so you wouldn't have... The round would end in Tempai, right? And you would get 1/500. Now I know we shouldn't really look at the wall and do that, but the reason I am looking at the wall is because I think this was a very correct decision to pawn into Tempai, cut this. And the end result, the consequence of that, is actually quite bad, because this guy gets a big tsumo. Now, granted, we could have pawned and given this guy this tsumo as well. So like, in that sense, it's not useful to look at the wall. But I like doing it just to see, right? I think a lot of people, they're like, never look at the wall, never look at the wall, you know, hindsight celestial. But I actually quite like looking at it because it's good. I think it's good to kind of see what would have happened if you had played correctly, right? Now, if you had dealt in, even if you played correctly, you can cope a bit and be like, ah, yeah, unlucky. And then if you actually fucked up with your mistake and it cost you the game, you can be like, okay, right? It really ingrains that lesson in you, like, man, I actually did fuck up and it cost me the game, right? If you deal in here, it's kind of just unlucky, honestly. I know you will deal in, right? Yeah, this is totally fine, nothing wrong with it, just a bit unlucky. You have a very nice hand, of course you push this, and keeping the 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku is quite good. Okay, so unlucky there, unlucky. Thankfully it's not too big and we stay in second place. This is very good. I found a video, Blue Archive Symphony, orchestral arrangements of all the Blue, well not all of them, but a lot of Blue Archive songs. I must say it's very good background music. Here you pawn. I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. There we go. Okay. Now it's very good for us. Unfortunately, this guy Richi's, he does not respect our Honitsu. We should push this. I do say, do not trust the Suji of the Richi tile, but if you have nothing else, you can. And in this case, you don't have anything else, and you want to push. So, good, you just drop it. Do we chi this? No, we shouldn't chi this. Okay, good. And you fold. I don't like this, honestly. I think you should just push, even though you are 2 shantim. This is Honitsu. Okay, wait, you didn't pawn. Yeah, you played too passively here. You should 100% pawn this. Do you drop the west? You could. Probably not the best idea. The 7 is not that good of a weight. You could. I think I would pawn and drop 8. Push the 8. Right? You should 100% pawn this. Like, how are you going to defend? It's very early, there's no information in his discard pile. Sure, you could cut white, but then what? You only have like... You don't even have many tiles, and this is a hand worth pushing. If this was all some like random shit and was only worth 1 han, then fine. But this is actually a hand worth pushing, especially if you get the Dora. So you definitely should have pawned here, playing too safe. And okay, at this point, since you didn't pawn, you might as well fold. Right, so fine, but I really hate that you did not pawn here. I think that's actually very bad. Yeah. So, but we're going to evaluate the next discards as if you are full folding, alright? So, the only reason I'm ticking these is because you did not pawn, but you should have pawned. Now what, Chun? Yep. Three is safe. Now it looks like you wouldn't have won anyway, but you still would have been able to push because you drew all these safe tiles, right? You ended up drawing all these safe tiles. That's not safe, but if you pushed the 2 before, you might as well push the 5. Yeah, West is definitely live. 8 is Suji, so you could push the 8. Good. Good. And then you do this. East is fine. Yeah. Okay. Honestly, the fold was perfect. It was a perfect fold. However, I think you should have pushed. Oh well. I'm not gonna say pushing or folding was more correct than the other. Personally, I think you should have pushed, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Perhaps we could put it into a bot and find out. However, I'm not going to bother doing that. You can do that if you like and call me a retard. But I think you should have pushed. Can we pawn for a quick Tanyao hand? I have no qualms about that. No qualms about that at all. We get some chasing. Everybody is pawning, opening their hands. This is good because the 7s are dead, pretty much. He just insta-chuck Dora, fine. It's not that dangerous yet, so we want to Sakigiri it a bit. Here we cut the 4. In this case we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should cut the stronger block. Right. This is a weak block. This is a completed block. This is a strong block. This is a weak block. Right, if we cut the 4, we are confirming our pair as the 2. But we lose all the acceptance of the 3. Oh, actually, 3 is Furitan. I did not even see that. So fine. Okay, I agree with this. 3 is Furitan. Also, the 6-7 Ryunmin is a little bit weak because all the 8s are out. So you do actually not particularly want to force yourself into the Ryunmin. Yeah, we're just feeding. I mean, I think it's okay if you're pushing. The question is, should you push? We have all the Dora out. We have 1 Dora here. It doesn't look like it's particularly expensive, so fine, you can push. Here we should not discard anything too dangerous because it's likely there's Tempai. Alright, and there is 2 Tempai. I believe there was 2 Tempai. It's actually quite big because he's dealer. Hold on a minute. He's luxuring pretty hard. Not much we can do against that, really. Not much we can do against that. We get an immediate Ricci. We should just fold here. We should hard fold. Good. Don't fuck around with the Ricci there. With this early Ricci, don't fuck around with it. Good. So in that one hand, I did want to push, but you hard folded. It was perfectly fine to hard fold that hand. I just think it was probably better to push, but I respect the hard fold, and I think it just worked. Like, it didn't matter in the end. So up until now, Saku, I think you've been playing very good. Been playing perfect, no problems there. We're very lucky to have found a very easy fold during a lot of terminals and honors. Now I do remember in the stream, this cat Mawashi this hand very, very well. We chucked the 2. Okay, so we've run out of safe tiles. Yep, let's see what we do here now. You could chuck 7 mana is completely safe, right? You chuck 7 here. Why did you chuck 2? 2 is not safe. Right, he threw the 1. Could easily be from a 1-3-4 shape. Cut the 1. Waiting on 2-5. 5, there's no 5 out, so it's not Suji. But 2 is wrong. 7 is better. However, I understand this mistake, and it's lucky we didn't get punished. I understand why you did this. But 7 is, of course, much, much better if you are hard falling. Now it's fine. But only because you did a wrong push there. Yeah, we should discard 7 because... Actually, no, we should not because he changed his hand. So, it does look like a Honitsu, doesn't it? So we should not discard any of these. And north is fine. Now we should be all set to fold to the end of the round. This looks like a massive Honitsu. Like, not a massive Honitsu, but this looks like there's no way this is not Honitsu, right? Very funny, very funny. It's a very, very nice Mawashi. And you might have fallen for it at some... No, 8 was never safe. Unless you count long Suji. He discards 7, good. That is Genbutsu. And we get another Genbutsu. This guy does not fall for the 8th. And unlucky. Honestly, very unlucky. He played this so well, and this guy just luck shat on him. So, quite sad. Oh well. It's not us, so we don't particularly care. Again, another nice hand for him. We're just kind of sitting back, relaxing. Not much to do. This is worth 2 Han now. This guy's calling our hand. We can push. We should... This is not a save tile. We should probably just cut this immediately. Right, because 2 calls, it could deal into this. But the earlier it is, the less chance, right? I don't know, it's okay. It's okay to keep this as a save tile, even though it's not safe. Yeah, we cut it now. Okay. I think I would have preferred the other way around, but it doesn't matter in the end. Here, keep the save tile. Akagiri this. I think that's fine. If you were like a saint and you were able to keep track of Tadashi, it actually seems a little bit dangerous because he Tadashi the 8. Actually no, because he called 5, 6, 7. So actually no, this is fine. I'm not expecting you to track this, by the way. Even I would not be able to track this because it's like too much information for me to track. And the only way I can see is because I'm looking at the log replay with the Tsumigiri tiles enabled. Although there is a way to be able to see that while you're playing. Intent. Okay, good Richi. What happens? We get a Tsumo there. Unlucky. It was a good Richi. It was a good weight. Right? All the 3s were live. Big Tsumo for this boy. Wait, no. Oh, he didn't have Yaku. He didn't have Yaku. He needed to find the self. What happens is you Ron him. Ooh. Well, we're happy about that, aren't we? But that was rather unlucky. I don't know whether he should have opened that hand or not, but I don't care. We're not going to go back and look at it. Right, we only care about you, Saku. Early 6th this card, Sakigiri. We've confirmed our blocks. Alright, we cut the Iso pair, which I agree with because we could transition into Tanya. Okay, we now have 5-7 Kanchan in exchange for the 1-1 pair, and we have successfully transitioned into Tanya. Very nicely done. We should pawn this. Good. And Tenpai on the 6-man. What happens? Okay, we do get some switching going on. Okay, Tenpai on the 6-man. We get a reach. And now it's a little bit difficult for us, isn't it? I agree with swapping to the 7 because it is Genbutsu, not just Suji, but actually Genbutsu. This guy looks like a Manzu Honitsu now, so it's a little bit scary. 9-pin is a Genbutsu. We have to be wary of both the Richi and a Honitsu here. 8 is fine. Two is a little sketch. Would I push this? That is a tough question. Would I push this too? Problem is you don't have any other safe tiles. None of these are safe. None of these are safe against Ricci. Man. I think I would just push it. I don't have anything safer. You decide to fold with the 2, which is not safe actually. It's actually not safe. There's nothing indicating that it's safe. I think you just push the 2-man here instead of folding and dealing in. Right. What happens if you deal in here? You look kind of stupid because you tried to fold but you dealt in. Okay. But it works out for you. You do get away with it, so fine. Retard. I mean, he kind of had to push. He was last place dealer. Unlucky, honestly. Yeah, he was last place dealer. Unlucky. He kind of did have to. No, he didn't. Right? He could have switched to Tanki. He could have just stayed with the Tanki weight. Yeah. In the end, I was lucky I did not get punished for pushing the 2. However, it wouldn't have mattered either way because this guy deals in. Yeah, we're pretty comfortable second place though. And first place is quite out of the range, so we're pretty happy just... I mean, we try our best on our dealer turn, but it's very unlikely, right? Very unlikely. This is all fine. Nothing much to say here. Nothing much to really say here. We get another Ricci. And well, he's just luck shooting, so what can you do? This is a good fold. It's not even a fold, it's more like a Mawashi. Fine, I might have taken the risk here. But fine, I think I would have taken the risk because I want to keep my dealer turn. Okay, is this a Honitsu? Maybe, but I wouldn't be too convinced at this stage. I wouldn't be fully convinced. I would not break this block. No, this is too passive. You cut the 9. You just cut the 9 here. It's completely Genbutsu, right? You can chase with this hand. It is possible to get into Tenpai and chase, which you should do if you get into Tenpai. No, too passive. Too beta. Beta Ori. Look at this. You could be Ishanten now. Yeah, very, very bad actually. That 4-pin cut was very bad. And you could have Ricci'd. You could have Ricci'd on the 4 here for 2-5. Instead you kind of, yeah, very bad. Not very well played. Too passive. He might not have discarded this, honestly. He might not have discarded this. Probably would not have discarded this if you Ricci'd on the 2-5. Actually, would he have discarded this? Maybe not. But you probably did miss out on a win here. Yeah, and you wouldn't have dealt in anyway. Okay, this was played poorly. One discard fucked it up for you. Actually a very bad discard. Because you, like, when you discard that, you completely destroy your entire hand. And you had Genbutsu here. You had 9 in your hand. You should have just discarded that. Then you can, if you really want to fold later on, then you cut the 4. So, not good. You could have, you at least would have been Tenpai. So you get another dealer turn. Maybe it's for the best. Maybe it's for the best that you pass your dealer turn and just confirm your second place. Right? But yeah, not so good. So you are playing a bit too passively. Before I forget, I am going to write that down in the sheet, in the pad. This is log shaming session 51. Oh, can you believe it? I've done 51 of these. You guys didn't believe me that I would do this, right? For every single one. Well played. But too passive in certain situations. It didn't matter in the end, though. But way too passive in certain situations. Okay, let's quickly run through this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. Oh, and we get an insta-reachy on the 2, so that is good. What happens? We get a Tsumo there. Unlucky. Arguably the 2-so was actually not that good, because there were 2 out. Arguably that was a position where we should have damed. And I mean, like, how can you improve this? You could draw the 4, that's it. It's tough. But I think you played fine. You wouldn't have gone in first. Maybe you'd got like an extra 5,000 points or something, but in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't matter. Okay. Well played. Let's take a look at the second game where you did get a last. And if you did play too passively, this would be the game where we would see the consequences of that. But I don't know. I don't know. You know, it is kind of disappointing that we didn't qualify. We certainly could have, if we were lucky. I think you guys played overall quite well. Certainly there are a lot of kicksperts and adept chads in the top teams who played atrociously. But they still qualified just because they're lucky, right? I mean, that's Mahjong. That is Mahjong. That's just kind of how it is. This is played perfectly fine. Right? Mahjong is you can play perfectly fine, you can play perfectly well and still lose. Just because you're unlucky. And unfortunately our team was quite unlucky. Not as unlucky as, say, the teapots, sure. But still unlucky. I don't think you call this, right? You wait for Suanko instead of Toy Toy. Like, you're thinking too small. Actually, you can't even get the Chun anymore. Why are you calling this? You don't have Yaku except for Toy Toy, and you can't even pawn the Chun. Why didn't you pawn the Chun before? Did you not have it? What? Why did you not pawn this? Were you thinking Suanko, and then... Okay. Yeah, this is actually very bad. One, you should have pawned this. But if you're not going to pawn this and go for Cheetoy, let's say, then you don't pawn the south. This was actually very bad. Why would you not pawn this unless you're going for Suanko, which I respect. If you're going for Suanko, I respect it. But this is more of a Cheetoy hand now, since one is out. Like, you 100% should pawn this. It's toy. Like, this is a toy. You 100% should pawn this, but now that you haven't pawned it, it's a chi toy. You discard 5 here. Now that you haven't pawned it, you should go chi toy, discard 5, but instead you pawn this for no reason. It's completely blundered this. You've completely blundered this hand. Absolutely, completely blundered it. You can't even win. Look, you can't even get the chuns anymore. Completely blundered. I mean, at least we can fold now. You fold with this. I mean, this is fine. It's Suji, but like, what are you keeping this for? You fold with chun. Don't take any risks if you have this. Okay, that's good. I mean, it's not bad, but like, why take the risk when you're not going to win the hand anyway? When you're never going to win the hand. Here you go, 8 so first, keeping the safer tile. Right, so this is inaccurate, this is good, this is inaccurate. This is good. East is not safe after all. Ooh, now you have to... Either of these is fine. Don't believe the honors meme. Either of these is fine. Instead you go for Nakasuji. I don't like it. It's actually a little bit more dangerous because the Nakasuji is of the Richi tile. It's actually more dangerous. Right now Nakasuji is fine. Right, 2-8 Nakasuji 5 is fine. But it's actually more dangerous because it's on the Richi tile. Remember? Suji of the Richi tile is more dangerous. Nakasuji of the Richi tile is also more dangerous. Right? 4-6. Do you discard 2 and 8 from 4-6? Yes. Just go honors. I know you probably saw that post in the last thread, like, ho, Sotogawa, ho, honors. But yeah. Now it's bad. Now you can't push these two anymore, because there's 2 Richis. 9 is fine. Not the happiest with the defense this round, but it's acceptable. Acceptable. There's nothing particularly wrong with it, but it is inaccurate, let's just say. You couldn't have won the hand anyway, at least. I mean, you could have won the hand if you pawn this. That's the big mistake here. Big mistake. I don't even think that's a safety issue. That's like you were split in your mind. You're like, oh, this could be Suanko. But oh, I could pawn this for Toy. And then the next round you're like, oh, I missed the chance. Like, oh, I can't get Suanko anymore because the 2 chuns. I'll just pawn the south. Pawning south was very bad. And not pawning chun was very bad. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. We shall carry on. We shall carry on. This is Dama. If you deal into Dama, it's fine. We don't really care. 1 turn Richi. We can Mawashi this, or we could just hard fold. Either one is fine. We are last, so not last by much. It was kind of a split decision. We'll Go until we have a hard decision to make. You can cut west. Again, don't completely destroy your hand if you don't have to. I'm gonna write that down. I can sympathize, Saghara, because I used to do this as well. I would just hard fold everything. I would completely destroy my hand when someone recheat. You know what happens when you do that? You get summoned to death, right? You have to have a bit of courage at times. You have to have a little bit of courage at times to push, right? You could have probably pushed 9-9 and been in Tempai here for 4-5-6. I think you definitely could have. I think you folded too hard. I mean, you push it anyway, right? Like, you push this anyway because you have nothing else. So, you definitely could have Mawashi'd this. Definitely could have Mawashi'd this. And, you would have Ron. It would have been a double Ron. It would have been a double Ron if you'd Mawashi'd this properly. Unlucky. So, with that in mind, you definitely could have got third. Playing too passive. Too passive. I mean, okay, let's go back and go through the thought process. If you discard 6 here is fine, because you keep the round count. Okay, next turn. Okay. If you hard fold here, what are your safe tiles? You don't have any more safe tiles. Right, so you destroy your hand, but you don't have any safety afterwards. Right? Just cut the west here. Honors our Genbutsu. Don't fall. Let's once cut as well. Don't fall for the meme. Actually, like, you destroy your hand for no reason. Too passive. Destroy your hand for no reason. The hand destroyer. You are the hand destroyer. I mean, you know, I don't hate you or anything, Saku. In fact, I kind of like you. That's why I kind of rag on you a bit. Alright. But, like, the thing is, you're just playing far below a master level would. You're very much stuck in the intermediate player hole, which is not your fault, right? You've seen the chart; it's actually real. Like the intermediate player hole, you are right in the middle here. You've learned all this theory, like, oh, we can beta Ori, we can fold. Oh, we can break Tempai. Right? Oh, we can Dama. You've learned how to do all these things, but you haven't learned how to do it correctly. And so you fuck it up. What happens is you beta Ori too much, you break Tempai when you shouldn't, and you Dama when you shouldn't. And this isn't specific to intermediate player hole. Like, every single rank does this. Right? It's like you've read books on how to swim, but now you're in the water and you're drowning, right? You should treat this as 2 Ryanman. Like, don't confirm this block right now. It's 3-4 Ryanman. and a 4-5 roundman. So it's 2 blocks, 3.5 blocks. We can consider this as 1 block if you cut the 6, or 2 if you draw the 3. 4, 5. Right. I would just cut the Iman. Go for a Tanyao pivot. Cutting 4 here is not correct. Cutting Kanshan here is fine. Again, I would cut the Iman though. I mean, I wouldn't cut both, I would cut 1. So here you get punished. It could have been 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. Very nice Renmin. Could have got rid of this. And this. In fact, you would be Richi, would you? Yeah, you would Richi on the 7 here. You missed Tenpai on the 3, 6. So, just a case of bad efficiency there. Yeah, I mean, there's some argument to be made for cutting 6, 8, 6 instead of 6, 8, but it's whatever. Yeah. I mean, this isn't safety, this is just bad efficiency. I mean, we should hard fold here now. Right. Okay. Get a run there. I must say this probably was a deserved 4th. He could have got 2nd even, I would say. Maybe not 1st. But so far it's looking like you could have got 2nd for sure. What do we do with this hand? It's so slow. I guess we just have to hope we draw into Tenpai normally. Okay. We get a Richi. Yeah. We can't really push, we're so slow. We need to draw the 8 though, which is the problem. We go 9 here to not completely destroy a hand. Yep. And we get some unlucky hits on our dealer turn. Yep, keep a safe tile. I think this hand you were just unlucky, right? You managed to get into Richi, and then this guy just beats you. Unlucky, right? Nothing much else to say there, you just got unlucky. So this is looking like you could have got 3rd instead, not a 2nd. We'll see. Man, I'm tired. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. Oh, I know why I'm tired, because I commentated 2 hours. Yes. I'm happy with all this so far. We have to push this. 1 is fine. 2, good. I like what I'm seeing so far. 6 is Nakasuji. You push the door out. Oh yeah, it did come out. No, 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 again you destroy your hand. 6 is Nakasuji. 3, 6, 9. I notice you tend to miss Nakasuji a fair bit. No worries, I miss it from time to time as well, but just think about it. You can't destroy your hand here. If you destroy your hand, you get last guaranteed. You can't do it. You just can't fold now. You have to push the 6. 6 is safe, it's not even a push. No, because you could still draw the 3, get back in the Tenpai. 2 is completely safe. Now you push the 6. Why? 2 mana is safe. Very odd. 6-0 was not... I mean, it was Nakasuji. You should have pushed it, but it's not quote-unquote safe. It's not Genbutsu. 2 mana was safe. You should have pushed it. Now you wouldn't have won. Granted, you wouldn't have won, but you should have pushed. Would you have won? Could you have gotten Tenpai? You assume this is the 3. No, you couldn't have got Tenpai. You couldn't have won, but you still should have pushed. Confirm the pair. I don't like this because you could draw the 3 pair, so you just continue cutting 1 here. You could draw the 3-pin pair, right? Greed a bit. You do need the value now. You gotta push. Good. You change weight. Good. Good. Well done. Well done. Well done. Good push. Unfortunately, we just don't get the we don't get it. Ricci and they push and the draw. Okay. Okay. Overall, not too bad. But just don't destroy your hand completely. You can Mawashi. You could have gotten a 3rd here. Should have been a 3rd. Could have been a 3rd place. Remember to not completely destroy your hand when you don't have to. It's okay to fold. I love it when people fold. I love it when people fold against Richis. However, you know what I love more? Is if people manage to Mawashi safely into Ricci, push and win. I love that even more. Right? But let's be clear. I like that you're folding. It's good. You just need to learn how not to hard fold when you have a hand that might be worth pushing. And sometimes it is correct to hard fold everything. Sometimes that is correct. However, a lot of the times, I'd say maybe half of the time, depending on your hand, it's more correct to try and Mawashi with mostly safe tiles like Sujis, like honors. Right? You don't have to be scared of honors. Remember what I say, against one Ricci, honors are Genbutsu. If you deal in, people are going to meme on you, sure, but like, don't care about that, it's still correct. Alright, Saku, well done. You have another couple of games tomorrow, or maybe the day after that, I can't remember when. So let's finish it off with a bang.